I'm in my truck here, and I just got a call from one of the people at the detention center who is like, we're gonna figure out how to help you. So I just did this video, like how I was offended that this church, my family church, didn't want to help, and they got the money, right? And it's just like, okay, what am I supposed to do? I can't do the detention center now, which I felt God's calling. I felt like his calling was on my life to help these young kids. And then I just put my foot down and I was like, look, if you can't help me, I can't help you, kind of deal. So I had somebody over there say, look, we're not set up over there. I mean, yeah, the church is the one who's supposed to help, right? But someone from there said, we're not set up to do this, but we are going to do what we can for you. So, so he knows somebody who, after 3 estimates, can probably give me even a cheaper deal on my vehicle so I can get over there and I can get this fixed. So long story short, I gave him, the history of, kind of what happened in New Hampshire and why I'm over here. And, sometimes help is long term. It's not just, oh, I just need this or I just need this, but it can be long term, especially when you're going through a divorce and your husband's supposed to be taking care of you and he doesn't want to, right? So, yeah, and this was my whole point. It's not even the point that, it'd have to be the whole amount or the point of that they have to help, but the point is that you want people there for you in life, right? And the point was there should be a conversation. I mean, especially as men, right? Men can go to when I had this happen last time and they didn't help, the pastor was just like, yeah, you should get rid of your car. There could have been more solutions too. It could have been, let me go to the garage with you. Let me, men who know their vehicles, which a lot of them do, can be like, they can wheel and deal for you. They can do a lot for you. So when you don't have people who are going to enter your life and help you, it's just kind of like, well, then I'm don't expect me to invest in you. And I did take it on the chin for the car, and I stuck with it because I wasn't like, oh, I have to have my way all the time or I'm not going to be your friend. I mean, I kind of stuck with it. And then this time, with basically with my budget at very little. I mean, all I have is my rent and storage, utilities, and insurance. That's it. That's it. And I was watching Caleb Hammer today too, and he sent a newsletter out saying, how much did you all spend for Christmas? Did you go into debt? And I told him, that I spent $100. That's what I spent for Christmas. I didn't go into debt. So, other than my food, I mean, it's easier for me not to cook. Sometimes it's just easier to grab something cheap when I'm out and about door dashing. There's really no expenses for me. The only thing I could get rid of that I plan on it in the future is storage, because that's gone up. But that was a last minute thing. That was like, last minute coming here and needing, to put my stuff somewhere. So this person is going to work with me, and that's exactly what I was looking for. He's like, I'm going to make some calls. We're not designed, this organization, to help in this area because that's the church's job. But we are going to make calls. I'm going to make calls, and I'm going to use the connections I have to help you. So that's what I was looking for. It can be, just give me a ride over here, or just can you do something? Can you do half the amount? Can you something? So when somebody, he did what I was looking for. He took the extra time. He said he didn't really understand what was going on from the message, and he took the extra time to, have a conversation and talk about it and say, this is what the situation is. So sometimes, like this church that I've been to, I mean, they've been through the ringer. They've had floods. They had their roof torn off. They've had all kinds of things happen. And I can understand the caution that the pastor may have with, insurance being so high and saying, I'm not going to renew insurance because it's so high. But to be able to be available and say, well, what's going on? And for this person to be like, well, we're set up this way, but we can definitely help with this. And the other thing is, when I've called churches, a lot of them are like, well, if you have a home church, that's the one that's supposed to be taking care of you. And that is biblical. Definitely, I agree with that. But there are some churches out there, and I saw this with another church. They have 30 people and they're trying to keep the doors open. I mean, it's the older people that have the money, right? Not the younger people. So they're trying to keep their doors open and they're just trying to survive. But even then, they're the ones who give out a $25 gift card to people. So as I look at this and I get the data, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just collecting information right now about, setting up my nonprofit, looking at New Hampshire. I just looked at an article of what they're doing in Manchester. How do you decide? Is somebody's rent more important, or the phone to keep connected to a job more important? How are people deciding how to help people? So, obviously your rent is pretty important, and you can get like a free phone from the government, etc. But I think the main thing is conversations. It's conversations. It's communication. Again, it's saying, what are the needs? What's going on? How can we help here? How can we help there? What can't we do? What can we do? And that's where it's going to be at, is in the communication. Not so much even the specific help, but the communication. Because like this person was saying earlier, I see 20-year-olds who don't want to work. 20-year-olds. 20-year-olds who, men who can work. So, looking at all that. So anyways, I did recommit and said, okay, thank you for working with me. And before we even solve this, because I have a couple months to deal with this, I will recommit and I'll see you next week. So definitely, I feel like God has called me to this, and helping other people, helping the young people. And, it was disappointing yesterday to think, I can't even get over there to help. So I'm really excited. God just did this for me.